Output 5. Rhetoric in School. Rhetoric in School. How to improve rhetorical skills. This is the matter of the podcast. This podcast is an activity from Output 5, Teaching Rhetoric Online, Open Resources, Project Rhetoric for Innovative Education. Rhetoric in School. This is the matter of the podcast. How to improve rhetorical skills during school, how to give speeches, how to be an effective speaker, how to use the power of the voice, how do we speak in front of an audience and achieve our speaking goals.
This is an episode related to rhetoric and debate and training in high schools and universities. It is part of the activity of Output 5, Teaching Rhetoric Online, Open Resources. Project is Rhetoric for Innovative Education, RHEFINE. Hello, Mr. Ranchev. First of all, I would like to say thank you that you say I will take part in this dialogue, in this podcast. You have experience as a participant in debates in Bulgaria as a student. You are currently studying in London management and modern technology. Could you say something additional about your education and pluses of this education?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure for being here to talk about the topic. Currently, I'm a student at England. I'm studying computer science with business, as you say. I'm just at the beginning of my career path, so it's really exciting for me to actually go out there in the real world and see what the opportunities are for me.
How do we evaluate the possibility of students to learn rhetoric in school?
I think it's a really good opportunity for them because in the real world, after I graduated from high school, I actually see how the communication, the verbal skills that you have is really important, and people are actually um, they they want to see from you that you can communicate, that you can speak, that you can lead a dialogue. So I think it's really good opportunity to actually have a verbal class at high school.
There has been an attempt to change the rhetorical paradigm, and students can start to read and deliver speeches. What do you think about this model? Start with reading and delivering of model of the best speeches delivered by the great orator.
I think it's really good to start from the simple part, because when you speak in public in front of an audience, it's really hard to actually talk and think at the same time. And really, the easy part is to actually give speeches which are already written by someone, especially by someone well known. So I think this is a really good start from them.
What do you think about the model to start with speeches delivered by actors, and if speeches are selected from movies?
Well, here we have something similar as the previous statement. I think it's a really good icebreaker for students to actually take a speech or a quote from a movie, from a theater where they love, they enjoy,
From literature,
from
novels,
literature, novels,
poems,
books, of
books.
course. Because there will be, I believe, in their, let's say, a comfortable zone. So I think again, this would be a good start, just to be used as an icebreaker, just to actually get used with the public, get used of speaking in front of somebody else.
You has experience as a participant in debate club. And it's well known that participants are on different or polar positions in debates. What do you think about rhetorical features of debates? This is controversy.
Um, yes, this is true. In a typical debate, you have two sides, and you need to be able to actually see both sides, and whether you're on let's say on one of the sides, you need to actually um, prove to the others, to the opposition, that you're right. And most of the time, people will listen to you more carefully if you're well prepared verbally, if you can talk with a good diction, if you um, actually use your body as as a body language to actually persuade them in for one of your arguments. And this is really important, because if people are not listening to you, you're basically saying nothing.
Could you share your experience as a debater? What kind and types of debates you organize? How do you prepare argumentation preliminary?
Back when I was when I was a student at my high school, first English language school, our debating club was one of the biggest ones in Bulgaria. And we have two types, particularly two types of debates. One was the public debate, and the second one was competitor debate. The differences are that in the public debate you have more time to prepare. You have your taste. I mean, you have your ideas before, and the content of what you're about to debate a couple of days or maybe weeks before the actual debate is happening. So you have the time to prepare, to elicit some facts from a good resources, to actually
Credible resources, authoritative resources.
all kinds of resources, yes. And you're able to compare them. In the competitor type of debates, you have around 15 to maybe half an hour time to prepare. So it's really it's you need to be really really organized in your thoughts. Particularly, you need to know how to um, make a speech, how to create a speech, really structure speech for 7 to 8 minutes for a really short period of time.
Does the debater have to respect ethical norms and at the same time strive for victory? It is achievable.
Yes, this is maybe the most difficult part of the whole debate, of the debating, and I think it is achievable if you actually if you know how to stood out in front of the people, if you know how to talk. um, it is achievable, even though sometimes, in order to pursue the 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 winning part of the debate, sometimes maybe you will lose this ethical consensus. But yes, this is the thing that the debaters are striving for.
There are differences between behavior to abuse your opponent or to say counter arguments.
It is a difference, and this is actually why um, the debaters are um, really different than the people who only want to actually have a discord, because discord and debates are two different things. In debates, you have arguments, you listen to your opponent, you're listening carefully and taking his words into account, and actually trying to pursue them why their words are not correct.
Do you take part in discussions in school? This
Yes.
is different to the logical rhetorical format. Forgot about polar position. Yes, there are different positions, but people try to go to consensus or to clarify some topics.
Yes, I took part in some discussions back at my house school, and now I'm taking even more part in my student life in the university, and I may say that it's really important in a discussion to make people listening to you, and this is the best way to achieve this is not by words. It is by body language. It is by your verbal skills, your rhetoric skills. So making people listening to you is the best thing you can do in a discussion.
And let's go to the final questions and topics. What do you think about communication skills and success in the future, in your career?
Communication is maybe one of the best skills that you can learn, because this is a skill that can be learned. There are a number of abilities that people have that cannot be learned, or they're more from a genetics, but communication is something that you can learn, and it's really important to do so, because even in an industry where in a technological industry where people often think that communication is not so well deserved there, but actually I can say from experience that be able to speak with your colleagues, with your manager, even on the interview level, it's the most important thing. This is the first thing that people see from you. It's not your technical skills, but it's your communication skills. Whether you're listening to them, whether you're asking good questions, how you're discussing some topics. This is the most important thing.
Thank you for your participation and contribution in our project, Mr. Ramchev.
Thank you again for the invitation.
You have been listening to the episode Rhetoric in School, Output 5, Teaching Rhetoric Online, Open Resources, Project Rhetoric for Innovative Education.